Okay, this is the DC voltage source. We need to increase the DC voltage source to some value around 70. This 70 volts will be converted at the AC side around 40 when we have one modulation index, but we will do this experiment for 0.8 modulation index, and so we have 0.8 of 40. Okay, this is the DC voltage around 70. The capacitor voltage is something around 25 volts, something around 25 volts. Let's start with the 20 ohms. 20 ohms. Now it's connected, so we cannot measure the resistance. This is the DSP. DSP will take the command or the algorithm from the computer, and it will send getting signal to the interface board. This interface board will increase the voltage to 15 volt, which is needed by the three-phase voltage source inverter. The IGBTs will convert the DC voltage to a three-phase AC voltage. The THD is something around 4.9, which is very low because we don't have AC filter. This resistance is only something like protection between the output from the three-phase inverter and the uncontrolled three-phase rectifier. Uncontrolled rectifier. This three inputs. We have three inputs: the AC signals, and we have two outputs: the positive and the negative side. Those are connected with the variable resistance, as we can see here. This variable resistance, we have a capacitance. It is only DC filter. Now we need to change the nonlinear load. This rectifier and this load is nonlinear load, so we need to change that and study the effect on the total harmonic distortion. So now we need to turn off the DC power supply and change the resistance value. It should be somehow hot, but we are working in low current, so we don't need heat sink. Let's go to small value. For example, let's go to something like 20 ohm. This is 20 ohm. You know, the resistance is in parallel with the capacitance. So when we have a high resistance, the load is almost capacitive, and this is not recommended because we don't have filter, and the voltage spikes will be higher, so the harmonic interaction from DC side to AC side will be higher. Now again, we need to increase the voltage to something around 70 volts. This 70 volt is taken just for experiment. The THD is not depending on the input voltage, it depends only on the modulation index. If we go directly to the modulation, to the THD, it's still around 4.5, and the DC voltage is still around 9. This is the RMS line-to-line voltages. If we, for example, if we want to measure the phase THD, it's still also something very low. This is the phase, not the line, because at the beginning we have line voltage. Okay, now we need to repeat this this experiment again for high resistance, which is something like open circuit. We need to turn it off and change the dynamic resistance, the variable resistance, to high value. Let's go to something around open circuit. In open circuit, it's expected to high ripple at the DC side and higher TSD at the AC side. So let's go and change it. Now we have something around full load, which is something like 250. I need to fix it just. Now we need to go back and increase the DC voltage. This DC voltage, now we have 70, the THD is higher, we have 5.7, which is still low but higher than the previous one because the DC load is almost capacitive and this is the harmonic interaction, and that's it.